All right, let's dive right in. With the markets being so unpredictable lately, you're probably asking yourself the same question a lot of us are. Where can I put my cash so it's not just safe, but actually earning a decent return? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today. This quote really hits home, doesn't it? You see the stocks going down, and your first instinct is to pull back, to play it safe. But what if safe didn't have to mean your money just sits there doing nothing? Turns out there's a sweet spot right now where your money is protected and it's working for you. So let's be real. What does a solid return even mean these days? Are we talking 1%? 2? I mean, what if you could be earning way more than that without all the stress and sleepless nights that come with riding the stock market wave? Let's take a look at what's actually possible. Okay, so just to set the scene a little bit, the market's been on a real roller coaster, and that's making a lot of people nervous. It's totally understandable. Folks are looking for a safe harbor, a secure place to just park their cash until the storm passes. And here is the absolute best part, the whole point of this explainer, really. You don't have to pick between safety and growth anymore. The great news is that right now, the safest places for your money are also the most rewarding they've been in years. It's a rare opportunity. So let's get to the main event here, what I like to call the 5% safe bet. I know, it almost sounds too good to be true, right? Getting a really solid return on your savings without any of that market drama. But trust me, it's very, very real. Just look at these numbers. We're talking about returns between 3 and 5%. And here's the most important part. This is not about gambling on the stock market. This is what's available with basically zero risk. It's not about finding the next hot stock. It's about finding the right safe account. You might be wondering, okay, but why now? Well, even though the Federal Reserve has made some adjustments, the yields on these super safe options are still hanging out near multi-year highs. And what that means for you is that there's this kind of golden window of opportunity to put any idle cash to work. Percentages are great, but they can feel a little abstract. What does 3, 4, or 5% actually look like in your bank account? Let's translate these numbers into cold, hard cash. This is where it starts to get really exciting. Okay, to make this totally concrete, let's just use an example. Let's say you've got $25,000 that you want to keep safe, but you'd also love for it to grow a bit. What could that actually earn you in, say, just half a year? And boom, there it is. At a 5% annual percentage yield, or APY, that 25 grand could earn you $617 in just 6 months. That's over $600 you've earned just by moving your money into a smarter, safer home. This table pretty much lays it all out for you. Just find the column that's closest to the amount you have saved, whether that's 10,000, 25,000, or 50,000. Then you can just look across and see the potential earnings. Seriously, finding your number on this chart can be a huge eye-opener. Okay, so the why you should do this is pretty clear now, right? The potential is huge, so let's get into the how. We're going to break down the specific types of accounts where you can find these amazing low-risk returns. Basically, all your options fall into 3 main buckets. First, you've got your traditional stuff from banks and credit unions. Second, there are cash accounts you can get from brokerages and robo-advisors. And third, you've got products that are backed directly by the US government itself. Now, before we get into those specific products, this right here is probably the single most important decision you're going to make. Do you want a rate that can change, or do you want one that's locked in? With things like savings accounts, the rate is variable. It can go up or down. But with something like a CD or a treasury bond, that rate is guaranteed for a specific amount of time. Knowing which one you're more comfortable with is really going to help you narrow down your choice. All right, first up, the stuff you can get at a bank or credit union. You've probably heard of these before. We're talking high-yield savings accounts, money market accounts, and of course, certificates of deposit, or CDs. The biggest plus here? They're federally insured, which gives you, maximum peace of mind. Next up, let's look at what brokerages are offering. These include money market funds. And yeah, they sound a lot like money market accounts at a bank, but they're a little different, and also cash management accounts. These can be a fantastic option if you like to keep all your savings and investments together under one roof. And finally, we've got products straight from the US Treasury, things like T-bills, notes, and bonds. These are backed by the full faith and credit of the US government, which basically makes them the gold standard for safety around the entire world. It really doesn't get any safer than this. All right, we've seen the kind of money you can make, and we've walked through all the different products out there. So now, let's bring it all home. How in the world do you decide which of these safe havens is the perfect fit for you and your money? So, how do you choose? Honestly, it just boils down to your personal needs. If you think you'll need to get to your cash easily and quickly, a high yield savings account is probably your best bet. But if you know you won't need the money for a while and you want to guarantee your return, then a CD or a treasury is perfect. And hey, remember, you don't have to choose just one. You can absolutely mix and match to build a strategy that fits your goals.
So, we're going to end right where we started, with a question. Your savings have real, untapped potential to be working so much harder for you, even while staying totally safe. Now that you've seen the options, now that you've seen the numbers, the only question left is, what's your next move?